This
No,
conference will now be recorded.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so let's start the session.
All right.
Okay, let me first explain you about the backups from the beginning. Okay,
Okay.
so we have three different type of recovery models actually. Okay,
Yeah.
let's suppose I will draw some diagrams to explain.
Okay.
The first recovery model of the database is full recovery model.
Yeah.
Then we have bulk log.
Yeah.
Then we have simple recovery model. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so three recovery models present in by default in every SQL versions. Now let's suppose in my full SQL server, full recovery models, we have different type of backup supports. One is full, one is
Yeah.
differential, another is T-log or transaction log backup.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have copy only,
Yeah.
full or T-log. Then we have point in time recovery, file and file group backup.
Yeah.
Then we have point in time recovery,
Yeah.
only which is present into my full backups, into my full recovery, and the same is present here. Okay, and the
Yeah.
same is present here, but there is no support for T-log backup. Okay,
Yeah.
there is no support for copy only T-log backup. Okay,
Yeah.
but the rest of the backups are there. So in full recovery model we have full differential T-log. As of now you consider first three backups, copy only and
Yeah.
file and file group and point in time recovery we will see later. Okay,
Yeah.
in full recovery model and bulk log recovery first three backups are supported, full, differential and T-log. And in full simple recovery model it is only supported full and differential. Okay,
Yeah.
so before understanding the full backup, let me draw one another diagram. Okay, here consider this is your Sunday. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say Sunday, and we are taking on Sunday a backup at full backup at 11 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
full backup, and also consider day by day like Monday,
Yeah.
we have Monday, we have Tuesday, okay. So let's say similar to this we have Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and again similar to this a new Sunday will start here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also one of the backup, that is next Sunday's backup. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Okay, every
Yeah.
day a differential backup is happening. Okay, so I will write it here, differential at 11 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so these differential backups I will note them like D1, D2, D3, D4, D5 and D6. These are the backup file names we can consider, and this is full backup. So
Yeah.
what is differential backup? Before differential backup, the full backup is a combination of all your data files, log files, and file groups. Okay, so whatever number of data files, log files are present, entire thing
Yeah.
will be backed up into the full backup.
Yeah.
That full backup, at that point of time, whenever you are taking whatever amount of data is present for each of the database objects, it includes tables, views, functions, stored procedure, everything,
Yeah.
copy of database in short. Okay,
Yeah.
so that will be backed up. After that, whatever incremental changes, suppose you started 11 p.m. backup, it took around half an hour. So to complete that half an hour backup, after that you are taking the backups for incremental changes. So after the
Yeah.
midnight of 11, whatever time took for the backup, after that, if there are any more database modification that has been done, maybe someone created some tables, okay, one
Yeah.
or two table or 20 table, whatever tables that has been created between your Sunday to this Monday,
Yeah.
okay, that will be available into this differential one backup file.
Yeah.
So that is incremental changes. So definition of differential is incremental changes happen from your recent full backup is called as differential backup file.
Yeah.
Okay, or differential backup. So the same thing, like Monday to Tuesday, if there are any modification happens, including this, and also from the recent full backup to Monday, like it's a
Yeah.
cumulative from Sunday to directly, that is from the last full backup till
Yeah.
your Tuesday's differential backup start time. All this modification will be available into your differential backup file, into D2 file.
Yeah.
Suppose you created 5 tables here and 3 tables here so total 8 tables will be present inside this differential backup file.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
same thing happens and continues, like for Wednesday also,
Yeah.
and so on. For every day's differential backup files, it will
Yeah.
continue and it will be cumulative.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the structure of your backups to understand easily.
Yeah.
So D6 is the last backup, differential backup, right?
Yeah.
So since your full backup, whatever all changes has been done in the entire week
Yeah.
will be present here.
Yeah.
Now you need to think, what is transaction log backup? Okay, so transaction log backup, before understanding, I will explain you one more diagram.
Okay.
Till this it's clear, right?
Yes.
Is
It's
is
clear.
it understood, or
Yes.
is there
Yeah.
any doubt?
No, no,
Differential
no,
you
it's clear.
understood, right? So
Yes.
in case I want to recover some data based on my differential, I should check the previous date or the recent differential available since the incident has happened. Okay, if
Yeah.
someone has complained you on Thursday, someone dropped some table. Okay, so Thursday they dropped at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So how will you recover your data? You will first restore your full backup. So before the Thursday 2 p.m., usually differential backup happen at 11 p.m. The
Yeah.
Thursday's backup is not yet completed, right? So you
Yeah.
will check the recent differential, which is Wednesday's differential, right?
Yeah.
So you will first apply the full backup, then you will restore the Wednesday's differential backup directly. And
Yeah.
whatever after that till 2 p.m., all the transaction log backups are there that you will apply. So before understanding the transaction log backup, let's concentrate on this diagram. Okay, so this is considered a log file, LDF file. Okay,
Yeah.
so here, before understanding the log file, okay, let me draw this way.
Let me ask you one thing real quick, please.
Yeah.
So, do you have to switch on the lock backup, or it comes on, by itself?
Can you repeat again? Do we
have to enable the transaction log backup, or it is automatically enabled?
we have to take manually or by automation. Okay, so how to automate and all we will discuss later. First you have to understand what is exactly backup means, what are the types of backups, how to take them manually, then we can automate them.
Okay.
Okay, like I will teach you that also. So usually how exactly in working environment it will happen. So let's say before understanding the transaction log backup, this is your LDF backup file. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose you took on Sunday, this Sunday full backup you took it on 11 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
and you scheduled for every 1 hour all the transaction log backups. Suppose this is Monday and this is Tuesday, like this it goes on. Okay,
Yeah.
so in this Sundays to Monday, here differential backup is happening every day, right? So
Yeah.
in between their period, suppose 1 hour basis transaction log backup I have scheduled to take it. Okay,
Yeah.
I will just make it like this. There could be multiple transaction log backup files. Okay,
Yeah.
dash dash. So now consider we are taking the first transaction log backup at 12 a.m. after this 11 p.m. of Sunday. 12 a.m. first transaction log backup we are taking. That means whatever tables or objects modification that has been done, or whatever the insert, update, delete, or whatever query has been executed, it has a start LSN and end LSN. Okay, so when you take the backup, so whatever the start LSN will be start LSN of your full backup. Okay, last LSN will be till what time you take the backup. So till that time all the modification related queries will be considered as a log backup. First log. Okay, so this log backup, suppose I'm naming it as T1, transaction log backup 1. Okay, after that again after 12 p.m. sorry 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. some new changes has been done, whatever insert, update, delete queries happen. There could be multiple transactions. Okay, it's not only select query will happen, right? Only insert, neither the delete, everything can be considered as a single transaction. Select is one transaction, insert is one transaction. For every transaction it will have one start LSN and one end LSN. So again when you take this last first transaction log backup, the last LSN, that is log, called as log sequence number. Log sequence number, because of which we can identify what is the log sequence number of previous transaction and the next transaction, because they are linked with each other using this log sequence number. Okay, so the next transaction log is T2. Suppose it has been generated at 1 a.m. So from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. between this time, whatever the transactions were executed, suppose there are 10 queries that were executed between this period. So all those 10 queries will be logged and backed up into a log backup file. Okay, so those 10 queries could be create table or insert, update, delete, whatever commands. So all that only to that period. It's not, this T2 will not include the last backup to transaction log 1's logs. Okay, it will only include from the T1 to T2. Like this was done on 12 a.m. This was done on 1 a.m. So 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. whatever modification queries were executed, that queries will be backed up only if the recovery model of the database is either full or bulk log. And in case of simple recovery model, what happens is, suppose these all transactions, instead of T1, consider there are 5 transactions. One is insert, one is update, one is delete, and two more are select queries. Okay, once the transaction, initially suppose someone is inserted some 10,000 rows. Okay, once the transaction is completed, that log from this log file will be automatically deleted. Okay, that is the main reason why we cannot back up the transaction log backup. When it will be deleted? Whenever there is a checkpoint occurs. What is checkpoint? Checkpoint is an internal command will be executed by SQL server. So how can you check it where it is present? You execute the sphoo2, and in background processes somewhere you will able to find the checkpoint, this one. This is the process which flushes all your transaction log once it is completed to the data disk. What does that mean? Suppose you are executing the insert statement, correct? You are executing 10,000 records. Once you execute the statement, whatever the insert statement is completed, the log has been completed, transaction has been completed, then that inserted new record will write that data to the disk file, MDF file, correct? So this checkpoint will help you for that purpose. This transaction log will be truncated in case if it is simple recovery model, then only. Okay, that is the reason you cannot do any backup of your transaction log backup in case of simple recovery model. Okay, so the log size also will not grow faster as compared to full and bulk log recovery model. The log file will not require too much of space as compared to full and bulk log recovery model. Okay, but remember, we can shrink the log file. Shrinking is nothing but deleting the content from your log file whenever you backup the transaction log. Unless and until you backup your transaction log, you cannot do shrinking. Shrinking means what? The releasing the log space, which was earlier backed up using some transaction logs that has been generated using whatever transaction. Suppose 20 queries were executed, those has to be backup as a transaction log either in full or bulk log recovery model, and once that has been completed a backup, then only you can shrink that particular log. Shrink means delete that log from your log file to use that log file space for the another new transactions. Okay, so this is how you need to understand. Transaction log backup is not supported at all into simple recovery model. Full backup and bulk log backup only supported for transaction log backups. Okay, and also if you consider about full and differential, it is available in all the 3 recovery models. In whole 3 recovery model, this is available. Okay. Also it is available copy only full backup, copy only full backup, copy only full backup, but T-log is again only available in the full and bulk log only. File and file group backup is also available in all the 3 recovery models. Okay, but only, let's suppose only point in time recovery which is available into full recovery model. What do you mean by point in time recovery? Okay, suppose let's take an example now. This example, I lost my data on Thursday. Okay, someone came in your office and they said like, we lost the data at 6 o'clock, suppose 25 minutes and 19 seconds. Okay, you need to recover your data till 2 o'clock 25 minutes and 18 seconds. Because at 19 seconds they executed some query, or they said like, we don't want at 19, let's do restoration till 10 to be ensure all data has been recovered. So this is given time, right? This you can restore. Suppose I am taking my transaction log backups for every hour and daily basis differential. Okay, so there could be some transaction log backup on every day. 24 transaction log backup has been generated if I scheduled my backup job as a hourly basis. Okay, next 24, every day 24 transaction log backups are getting generated. Okay, so to recover the data at Thursday at this time, what you will do? You will first restore. Suppose this, they have been informed you at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock they came to your desk and said, Smith, we lost our one of the important table by mistakenly. We want to recover it. So if your recovery model of the database is full, then you will first restore the full backup. Then you will restore differential backup nearby Thursday. So what is the nearby differential backup on Thursday? Previous days, Wednesday's differential, right? Because at 3 o'clock you don't have Thursday backup of differential because it is yet to be done, right? So Wednesday's differential you will restore. After that 11 PM of differential backup of Wednesday, for each of the transaction log backup generated after Wednesday's 11 PM, suppose 12 AM Wednesday it's got generated a new transaction log backup. So you
Yeah.
will restore that 12 a.m. transaction log backup on top of differential backup. So
Yeah.
while restoration, you need to do this with no recovery option. Okay.
Yeah.
No recovery option will allow you to restore further backups. So first full backup you will apply with no recovery option. Wednesday's differential backup also you will apply with no recovery option. Again, first transaction log backup that has generated after the differential backup, you will apply no recovery option. And after the 12 a.m., 1 a.m. backup, you will restore, 2 a.m. backup, you will restore. All the transaction log backups you have to restore till 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose you took the backup at 2 o'clock and you did the restoration. But now they have been asked you for 20 minutes also, right? 25 minutes and 10 seconds also. For this, you have to use the 3 p.m. backup. Now, while restoration of 3 p.m. backup, you have to mention the stop at condition. Okay. Stop at is equal to, you need to mention the date and time till which time you need to restore and recover your data. If you mention that time, then that is called as point in time recovery. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is only possible if your recovery model of the database is full.
Yeah.
Okay. You cannot do this recovery into bulk log, neither the simple recovery model.
Yeah.
So this is the clear understanding of how point in time recovery is important in banking sector or in some financial sectors, right? You cannot say like we lost your data, right? You need to quickly recover everything. Suppose someone deposited some millions of rupees at this time into the same table and you immediately said, sir, there is no record for you, right? It cannot be possible. So we have to recover that data, whatever transactions till this time, and you need to recover and give it back to the team. So this is called as point in time recovery. So you know, like transaction log backup, you cannot skip them. Like suppose on Wednesday I restored my 11 p.m. backup, right? 12 a.m. backup I did restore, till 9 a.m. I restored. By accidentally someone was deleted my 10 a.m. backup, transaction log backup. Okay. So you cannot apply any of the 11 p.m. or 12 p.m., 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.'s backup.
Yeah.
You cannot apply. So these transaction log backups are linked with each other. So each of the transaction log backup you need to first restore, then only you can recover till this time.
Yeah.
If any of the backups got corrupted, then also you cannot do that activity.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how the backups things will work. The syntaxes for the backup I shown you on that day, right? The full backup, how to take it, transaction log backup, differential log backups.
Yeah.
Now, what is copy only full backup? Okay. Copy only full backup is a backup which breaks the lock chain will be avoided. Like suppose for example, you have new backup starting now, right? The same way it will be repeated for the next week. Suppose for example, this is going to repeat in the next week here. Okay, just an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This differential backup you cannot restore on previous week's full backup. You can only restore this with a recent full backup.
Yeah.
Okay. But somehow your manager asked that I want to restore this differential backup in previous week's full backup. Okay. So what you can do is you will take this full backup as a copy only backup. So this will not break up the chain between this differential and this full backup. So this log, or sorry, differential backup, this differential backup, you can use it on this full backup also.
Yeah.
Okay. So you easily can restore this backup on this previous week's full backup.
Okay.
If you took a new full backup without the copy only option, you cannot use this differential on this previous book. Okay. So previous week's full backup you cannot restore, on which you cannot apply this differential. That is what you need to remember if you do not use the copy only option. Okay. So usually if you are not taking copy only, you need to only use this differential with the recent full backup. Simple. Okay. So
Yeah.
to use this with previous full backup, you need to take the copy only backup.
Yeah.
Copy only transaction log backup are nothing but kind of copy only backups which are of no use. You cannot restore them like normal transaction log backups.
Yeah.
Okay. So file and file group backup is kind of entire data files and log files as well as file groups backup. You can do it. Suppose you have very huge databases and different file groups. You have sales and suppose operation file groups in TBs and HR file group only in suppose MB or GB, and you need to quickly recover your data using the HR file group backup, right? So in that case, file group backup will be more helpful, because if you take the file group backup of only HR file group, because of the less data into HR file group, it will be having the less size, so you can quickly recover. Okay,
Yeah.
so file group wise backup also you can take it. How will you take the file group backups? Like right click on databases, go to task and do the backup, and you see this, there are three different types initially, correct? If
Yeah.
you wanted to do some file and file group, you can click on this file and file group option. So there could be multiple file groups, you can select that respective file group. Currently only one file group is there, right? So
Yeah.
for example, we have multiple file group, I guess. Let me check it in some of the database, it will be present. You see HR and sales, there are
Yeah.
two file groups.
Yeah.
So we can backup only if you want only backup the HR related file group for this test database. Go to task and go to backup and select the files and file group backup.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, if you see, the backup is full or differential.
Yeah.
Let me change the recovery model. Let's refresh this. Okay, it is actually in memory. Whenever it is in memory, we cannot take the file and file group backup.
Okay.
Okay, that is the reason. Okay, you can see this option has been disabled.
Yeah. What is
Suppose
in
we,
memory?
yeah, we will discuss that in future.
Okay.
Actually, it's new concept of database management system from 2014 onwards.
Okay.
So we have this Thiru database, which is one of the other student where I took the session. Now
Yeah.
you see this file and file group backup. It
Yeah.
will ask you which file group exactly you want to do backup. You can
Yeah.
tick mark it and select only HR file group. If you script down this, you will see backup database name, and which file group do you want to backup, and to that disk. The remaining syntax is same. Okay, you can remove this if you want. Okay,
Yeah.
it will only backup the entire file group. How many data files are there, whatever number of data files, all the data files which are present inside this HR file group will be backed up in this backup file. Okay,
What is
once
stats?
your
Start
stats
with
equal to
stats.
10 means it will show you how much percentage it got completed. So currently it is very small db, it will not show you 10%, 20%, 30% completed,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That is the
Got
reason.
it.
Okay, so this is all about your backups. You have to understand first what are the different type of backups that are supported in each of the recovery models,
Yeah.
and then only you can easily learn this. Okay,
Yeah.
otherwise it is difficult to understand the backups type. So I will send you this. I
Okay.
will also send you this.
All right.
Scenario we took last time, right? We created
Yes.
the table. You just have to do that. Now the question for you: if I lost my data on Friday at 2
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah.
okay, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Friday, okay, and
Yeah.
now they told me at 3 p.m. and my database recovery model is simple, okay.
Yeah.
Remember, database model is simple. I
Yeah.
want to recover till 2 p.m. backup. Is it possible, or it is
No,
only possible? Okay,
it is not possible because there is no proper entire recovery for simple.
correct. So you cannot recover till 2 p.m. but what you can recover is till that
11
days
p.m.
before. Yeah, 11
Yeah.
p.m. up before the Friday. It's Thursday's 11 p.m. right? Till
Yes.
that time only you can recover. You will apply the full backup. You will apply the differential backup.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Correct.
Second scenario: I lost my data at Friday at 4 p.m. 30 minute. Okay,
Yeah.
4 p.m. 30 minute, and they came back to you at 5 o'clock and 10 minute, and they said I want to recover our data 4 o'clock 29 minute and 30 seconds. So what kind of recovery you will do if your recovery model of the database is full?
Okay. So you will do proper entire recovery where you are going to need the full backup, and then you need another differential backup, and then you need another transaction log from 4 p.m. to 4:15.
Not only 4 p.m. You have to restore all the transaction log backup that happen after your differential
Last,
backups that has
yes.
been restored. Okay,
Correct.
suppose
Yes.
after 11 p.m. you restored 12 a.m. Transaction log backup, 1 a.m.,
Yeah.
2 a.m., 3 a.m., like that till 4 a.m., 4 p.m. you will restore, and the 5 p.m. backup you will restore with stop at condition.
Right.
Okay, this
Right.
is how you have to explain during the calls, during interviews, if someone asks you about this condition. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
so you already have those queries that I was shared last time, or you want me to share queries as well?
You
Backups queries.
backup. You can just share it. You can just share if you have it.
Okay, so I will send you an email today.
All
So
right.
these are the queries. Let me check them. Yeah, like this. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so these are the backups queries, and these are the restore queries. Restore file list only will give you the list of data files and log files are available in the inside the file group and what type of backup it is. Okay,
Yeah.
restore verify only will verify the backup type. Is it the valid backup or it's a
Yeah.
invalid backup? Header only will give the list of LSN numbers. Okay,
Yeah.
what kind of start LSN end LSN of the backups. So this I will send it to you. First, these all backups you can back it up, and you can
Yeah.
use the restore options to restore it. Okay, so I will send you this query.
So restore
Mhm.
verify is a way for you to check to see if you have valid backups, right?
Yes, like this. Let's say you just did the backup of this right at this
Yeah.
location. I will
Yeah.
copy the same backup file and I will paste it here. So if I
Yeah.
run this query, it will show you the backup set is on file 1 is valid. If it is invalid or having corruption, it will show you some invalid information.
Okay.
You can restore that corrupted backup.
All right.
How will you check the list of data files and log files and as well as the file groups that are available? Instead of restore verify only, I will write it down file list only.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will give you the list of data files and their log files as well as their physical logical name and the physical path exactly where it is present. What is
Yeah.
logical name, what is physical path? We saw that day, right? Data
Mm-hmm.
files and log files topic. We saw these are the names. When you go to properties and files, this is the logical name.
Yeah.
Physical path means it is located in this path with this file name, which is just shown as a path slash your file name here.
Yeah.
Okay, and also it will show you what kind of backup it is. Okay, it
Yeah.
has data, it has log, and this is file stream. It is shown as yes. Okay,
Yeah.
you see the file groups, name of the file groups are also present: HR, operations, sales, primary. Log file will not have any file group.
Yeah.
Also, if you see, create LSN and sizing and all other stuff is there. And if you want to know what kind of LSN number is there, that is log sequence number, instead of
Yeah.
file list only, you need to fire the header only.
Yeah.
This command. So what type of backup it is? This is file group backup, that is 4. Okay, so if you want to see header only what type of backup it is, so what you can do is you can put this here into MSDN. Okay, and you can see what type of backup it is. The restore header only, you will see this backup. First is full backup, second means transaction, 4 means file or file group backup, 5 means differential. Usually till 5 only we have to use it. We do not use actually this 6, 7 and 8. Okay,
Yeah.
that is not required. Okay, now header only, if you just scroll towards right side, you will see the first and last LSN and checkpoint LSN as well as the backup LSN. Okay,
Yeah.
so database backup LSN is currently 0. Why it is 0? I did not backed up full backup, that is why it is 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you take the full backup, that backup LSN will be generated and that backup LSN will be available here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how you have to use it for the purpose of recovery of the data.
Yeah.
Okay, so use the command and use the structure. You understood now backups, right? In case
Yes,
someone
yes,
asks you to
yes,
recover anything, you
yes,
just have to explain this way. So I will share both
yes.
these, MS Paint and also the log sequence number. You need to understand this, and I think I sent you some documentation before few days back about email about the backup type and some theoretical knowledge.
Yes,
You
correct.
already have it, so let
Yeah.
me check if I can show you some again. Let me just this document I will just share you the screen.
Okay.
So this document I was already shared with you. Recovery model, full,
Yeah.
bulk log, simple recovery model. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the difference between full and bulk log recovery model?
Proper intent recovery. We have proper intent recovery with the full, and then it is not with the bulk load and the rest of the other ones.
Yeah, bulk log recovery model do not back up the bulk operations like bulk insert statement. You remember bulk insert we covered?
Yeah.
So that bulk insert is not possible in case if you are using bulk recovery model. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the main difference between the backups, sorry, recovery model between the full and the recovery model between the bulk log.
Yeah.
Okay, bulk operation will not be backed up into the bulk log. Also it will not be backed up into simple as well, but in simple log also will be deleted automatically.
Yeah.
So you should
So,
yeah,
which
go ahead.
means you have to manually delete log transaction for the full and the bulk log.
Yeah, you need to shrink it. How will you shrink it? Suppose you took the backup now, right?
Yeah.
You want to shrink the log or the data file also you can shrink. What is data file shrinking? It will remove the unallocated space from the data file and it will release it to the OS. It will allow the operating system to use that space. Okay, suppose you were having 1 TB of data file size and
Yeah.
someone dropped a table with this 500 GB size, because they do not require that history table. 500 GB is inside database, it will be free. So where will you check it? When you go to properties, here it will show you the free space. See now,
Yeah.
total data file size is this one, and out of that 253 MB is available now for the
Yeah.
shrinking. So this space could be either in data file or it could be in the log file. So how will you
Yeah.
know is it data file space or log file? So go to task and go to shrink, and if you select the database, it will show you this much. Enter database. Either you can shrink this way also. This is called as shrinking of the database. Click OK, it will shrink. Or you can shrink the individual data or log files also. Like we can see shrink files option. If you select the data, it will allow you to shrink the data files. You can see this is data file space. If you instead of data select the log, it will show you the log space also.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you can shrink it. Now see, out of 256, 235 MB is free. Okay. I will first shrink it. And now if I re-verify it again, sometime this will not allow you to shrink properly unless you backup. You see only 223 got released. Why did remaining not shrink? Because it was not backed up. So that is the reason you need to have the recovery model either simple if you are working with the test environment or development environment, and production usually full recovery model. Okay. Bulk log could be whenever there is a full what we say, whenever there is not critical high availability configured like database mirroring and all, you can keep it in bulk log also. Okay, we will discuss that in mirroring session, why we require to keep it in full recovery model. Suppose I change this to simple, immediately this will allow me to shrink the log. So you see now task, if I go to shrink files and log, entire log, you can see nearly all the log is allowing me to shrink 256 MB. So if I shrink it now, the log file size automatically will be less. Out of 256 MB, the log file size now went to 0.49. So this is shrinking of the log. The same thing you can do it data also. So when you shrink the data, this available space releases to the operating system. Okay. Release unused space to the operating system. Okay. So this is, if I do it, it will take some time, and once it is done, you can again check the same thing. But remember, shrinking is not good in production environment continuously. Somewhere, sometime, if you are having some issues, then only it is good. See this, some space has been released. So this is showing available, but it will be shrinked automatically and will be available for you, or someone is doing some activities inside this, then it will grow and grow. Okay. So this is called a shrinking of the data files or log files. Okay. Now the question is, how will you automate this? Automate the backup. Okay. Suppose I have the SQL instance, SQL1, I will take it. And here in management, there is an option called as maintenance plan. Where is maintenance plans? Okay. Sorry, I connected using different account, which is not a admin account. So you see this management, there is a maintenance plan account. Okay. I will delete the older one, whatever the backups were present, and also this. Let's suppose you are doing for first time. What you have to do is go to the management, okay, and then go to maintenance plans, and here say new maintenance plan, and suppose you need to write weekly full backups, and click OK. Okay, so when you do this, this will give you this maintenance kind of window. In toolbox, you will have the option automatically to back up this database task. Okay, so just drag this and drop it on the right side screen, drag and drop, click on that and just don't leave the mouse, and take it and bring it here and then leave the mouse. So you will get this option. Double click on this, and when you double click, you will get one pop-up like this. When you
Yeah.
have 2017 SSMS, you
Yeah.
will have this option like this, but in 2012 and 14 it is little different.
Okay.
Because these tabs are separated. There you will see all these options in only one single window.
Yeah.
Now here is the type of backup you have to select, what kind of backup you want to do it. Okay, suppose I want to do a full backup, and
Yeah.
which all databases do you want to do this? That options you can select it, either
Yeah.
all user databases or all databases or system databases or some selected databases.
Yeah.
4 options are there. I will select all user databases to show you, and also I will select ignore databases where the state is not online. Okay, so that
Yeah.
means whenever you want to restore the databases, okay,
Yeah.
or sorry, whenever you want to back up the databases, if someone is doing some restoration, that database state is not online, right? Because that is not yet recovered fully, it is still in progress, so status of that database will be in restoring mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. in that in that case, the backup of the database will ignore that that particular activity.
Yeah.
Okay, so suppose there is 1 dB which is in restoring state, so it will
Yeah.
be ignored to be backed up. So that
Yeah.
is why we have to select. If not, then this job will fail. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
just a minute, give me just 2 minutes, I will take water and I will
All right.
back. Okay, so that dB will be ignored,
Yeah.
and you can back up this to tape or disk. Usually disk are nowadays using.
Yeah.
Destination path you have to specify, where do you want to do the backup. Suppose I created a folder somewhere in the backup directory.
Yeah.
Okay, and I created a full backup folder, so all the database full backups should
Yeah.
happen into the full directory. Okay, so
Yeah.
type we selected full, you can choose different for different maintenance plan. So
Yeah.
all user databases should be backed up. Destination path I have to change it. I will copy paste this path in iDrive
Yeah.
which I created.
Yeah.
This option you can use it to create the subdirectories for each of the database with its name. Whatever
Yeah.
name of the database, with that name directory will be created. Inside that backup will happen. So this is the extension for which you can give it. When you select transaction log backup, this extension instead of BAK it will be TRN, transaction short form TRN. Okay,
Yeah.
and there are some more options to use the compress backup. Okay, compress backup is only available in developer or enterprise edition, not in standard edition.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the option to backup the copy only backup. You see this?
Yeah.
But I don't want copy only, so I will backup normally. And once you did do this, also drag and drop the maintenance cleanup task. Okay, why whenever you take the backup, it
Yeah.
will take it on that disk, and some people will keep the backup for 5 days, backup for 6 days. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose you want to keep it for 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
older the backup of 2 weeks automatically should be deleted. That is the reason this maintenance cleanup task has been introduced. So
Yeah.
just double click on this and mention the folder from which folder you want to delete the backup files, and mention the extension of that backup file, that is BAK. Also include the first level subfolders. If the inside this folder some database backup folders name with the DB name and inside which the backup files are present, that has to be also deleted. That is the reason you need to tick mark on this. And how many weeks older data you need to delete, or how many days older, you can select it. Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose you want to do like 5 days older, so select 5 days older.
Let me ask you one thing, please.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you run. So let's say you run the backup. Let's say at 1 p.m. and then you run it again 2 p.m. and then 3 and then 4 p.m. That is, you run a full backup, right? So will each of these backups append,
Not
or
append.
they will
It
create a new
generates
file?
it
A new
generates the
file?
new file with the date and time. I will show you that.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
do this full backup and
All
save
right.
it. Okay.
Okay.
So if I just save this, it will create one job. Okay.
Yeah.
So no description found, it is showing. So for the description, let's say we have to schedule this job. Okay, let's
Yeah.
suppose I want to schedule on Sunday basis, and I will save it. Okay, because this did not did the arrow. If I do the arrow, then only it will allow me to save it.
Okay.
Let's save this. It is got saved. When I save it, weekly full backup is the name of the job. It will create
Yeah.
automatically. You
Yeah.
see that in SQL agent job. Let
Yeah.
me just start this agent. It was actually into stop mode. Okay, you see this agent job, weekly full backups, the same
Yeah.
name as your maintenance plan. I will refresh and check the maintenance plans.
Yeah.
Okay, same name it is present. Now if I run this job, start job at step, it will start taking the backup for each of the folders. See, the folder got created.
Yeah.
Automatically all the DBs also will be backed up.
Yeah.
And every backup will be present in this format. You can see
Yeah.
date is present, yearly, and also some additional information of timing. So
Yeah.
this is how it will generate the new backup file every time. So let's see, now I will run this job again.
Yeah.
Second backup file also will be created. See this.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I understand it now.
Yeah. So to clean up this, otherwise the disk will get full, and
Yeah.
due to the full disk will be
Yeah.
fail. So that
Yeah.
is the reason cleanup task is very important to be added. Maintenance
Yeah.
cleanup. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is how you do automation using the maintenance plan.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you want to do this using some scripting, that is another thing. That is kind of PowerShell scripts and all. It's kind of separate course. I
Yeah.
will explain you that also later, how you
All right.
can do it. Okay, so
Okay.
we have different topics tomorrow. Backup
Yeah.
restore, you will do it now, right? Easily, you will do
Yes.
practice on backup command, restore command. You can do using graphical graphical way also. Like if you want to do some restore
Yeah.
database, restore file and file group. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can also do the backups, like right click and do the backup as I shown using the GUI mode using this window.
Yeah.
Okay, only backup can also be taken, full backup, transaction log backup. You see the differential backup, if I click, it will be hidden this copy only,
Yeah.
because
Right.
only either full or transaction log copy only backups are allowed.
Right.
Okay, and more options like the compressed backup, if you want to take, you can go to backup options.
Yeah.
Also you can set the backup expiries, like some people keep the backup expiry for the purpose of writing the particular activities to do that particular databases to
Yeah.
be only valid for 1 month or 2 months, like that.
Yeah.
So this is all about your backups.
Yeah.
Okay, so usually there are some people who work daily basis to schedule the backup, to verify the backups jobs are successful or not. They will also similarly, you can do the same way. We did it only full backup. You can do
Yeah.
it for weekly, instead of weekly full backup, daily differential. okay, or hourly
Yeah.
transaction log backup. But some of
Yeah.
the database sizes are very small. Instead
Yeah.
of doing the weekly full backup, you do the daily full backup,
Okay.
okay, and hourly transaction log backup, or you can say hourly differential and 15-minute transaction log backups, anything.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have the choice to decide it. Most of the people, what they do is daily full backup if the sizes are very small in 100 GB, 50 GB or MBs, and they do hourly basis transaction log backup. They do not use the differential backups,
Yeah.
okay, in case of
Yeah.
full or bulk log recovery model. But the
Yeah.
same thing when you go about like in case simple recovery model, they only do the full and differential,
Yeah.
okay. So this is how exactly it works for your SQL server.
All right.
Yeah. So we have the high availability topics and security topics now. What are
Yeah.
the things next I will discuss with you. So mostly you just have to first practice this, then only you can easily understand the other topics.
Okay.
Because on depending on the backups only, you have the other topics that are dependent. I will send
Yeah.
you both of these today. If you check this email, I was sent it to you this on maybe the date is 18th of December. Okay.
Yeah.
So on 18 December, I sent you this documentation.
Yeah.
If you use this note, recovery models documentation, you
Yeah.
will able to see this all recovery models and their backup syntaxes also.
Okay.
And also you have the option to use this documentation for entirely end-to-end all the activities for the DPS. Okay, I was prepared this by collecting some information from internet by doing myself some collection.
Okay.
Okay, so use this documentation for your own purpose, study
All right.
purpose. The same thing you can learn and do some practice.
Okay.
Now we have suppose in some cases we also have security and
Yeah.
auditing, because
Yeah.
when you work with audit in banking sector, auditing
Yeah.
is the part of the security. We will continue in tomorrow's session, and
Yeah.
then we can start with the database mirroring and log
Yeah.
shipping.
Yeah.
This week what we will finish is tomorrow. Suppose we connect at same time, audit we will finish tomorrow, and we will start the database mirroring and log shipping, and we will finish database mirroring and log shipping till 4. Okay,
Yeah.
then in next week of 7th, that is your 7,
Yeah.
will be we will cover for replication, and then we
Yeah.
will cover it on cluster and always on group, then
Yeah.
indexing and query tuning. So till
Yeah.
11 we will finish all the remaining sessions.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and mostly you will be ready. Then after that you can do practice and do the good preparation. Okay.
Right. So for this week, I will not be available for Saturday and Sunday.
You will not be available.
For Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
That is for my Saturday and let me see. No. For Saturday and Sunday, I'll be available bed in bed at the night time, not in the morning like this. I'll be available bed night time. Saturday and
Okay.
Sunday. Yeah. I will not be available in the morning.
No problem. We will discuss about it, because I will also check my schedule. So I
Okay.
will message you accordingly, because I have morning and evening both weekend batches, only weekend
Yes.
batches like IntelliPad, right? So
Yes.
they have.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so
are you going to search for a job for SQL DBA, or you will continue in current work only where you have the activities?
like what I was trying to explain to you, I have a job already, but I just need the skills.
Okay. So you already will get the SQL DBA's work also?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's good.
So what I need now
Uh,
is the skills now to manage it.
okay, okay, that's good, that's good. And also, do you have any friends who will look for training? Then please refer me,
Yes,
so I
sure.
can get that
Mhm.
benefit also.
Yeah, sure.
And also, I do the support work. Like some people are there who took the training, who got the
Yeah,
job, and they
yeah.
do always ask me for supporting their all activities.
Right.
Okay, so you
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Okay. Let me just show you this example real quick. Okay, let me just show you from here. All right. If you let's say okay, so let's say if I have to, let's say, transfer all these files from here to a network drive, right? To some new location, to let's say a new drive, like maybe like here, maybe like here.
Shared drive you are talking about?
Yes. So if I'm to move those files daily from there to here, so I don't know how to write a script that will move the files from there to here, daily.
Okay, so you have to write some batch script.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is totally different activity. You
Yeah.
need to know about SQL CMD, SQL batch commands, copy command, and
Yeah.
you can automate them. So do you want to move all the files that are present or only limited files?
No,
That
I
is
have to move my full backup files daily from the host VM to a drive in the
okay.
network, daily.
Okay. Okay, so what you can do, let me check in taskbar. Okay. Usually, actually, this can be done only using SSIS, or you can do some batch file command.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically a batch file script you need to develop, or using PowerShell also you can do it. Batch script, do you know about the batch script? Like normal command prompt command to copy the files.
Yeah. So that will be like that will be scheduled, right?
Yes, you can copy that batch file and
Yeah.
schedule using task schedule. Task scheduler is something different.
Yeah.
Okay, I will show you that maybe tomorrow. I will
Okay.
write this command for
Yeah.
copying the files which are present in one folder, and will
Yeah.
copy into another folder, and we can schedule it.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good.
but
Yeah.
if the files are already existing, what has to be done? Or do you want to just copy, or you also want to delete them from the
Replace.
source folder?
So the file should be deleted from the source folder. The file should be deleted from the source
Okay,
folder.
once copy is completed, you should delete from the source folder, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so we have to do some automation, like we have to do some first script writing and use that script and automate it using the task scheduler. I will
Yes,
show
correct.
you.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
That's
so if you feel any more question, we can then connect in tomorrow session and discuss,
okay.
and
So,
we will cover that part. Yeah,
will you be available in the morning or no?
my morning tomorrow.
Yes. You be available in the morning?
I will message you. Okay, what I will do tomorrow, like 10 a.m. for me, because
Yeah.
before that I have two students batches.
Yeah.
Two batches are there. One is
Yeah.
support and one is batch. So
Yeah.
after 10 a.m. only I will get free. So
Okay. That's fine.
10 a.m. IST will be around 9 p.m. or 9:30 something for you.
Yeah.
So that time I will message you immediately. So if I
Okay.
am free,
That's
we
fine.
can connect them. Okay.
Okay. That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you. And I will upload today's recording as well and do the practice on backup and recovery models and all the preparation.
Okay.
So
That's
I
fine.
will also forward you some of the additional notes going forward after the few topics. So that will
Okay.
also
That's fine.
benefit you. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's
Okay
fine.
then. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
Take care.
Bye bye. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.